She told me that she was sick and tired of hiding things like this when all she wanted to do was just leave. I was devastated because I had no idea that she was unhappy in our marriage, and I was willing to do anything to fix that. So, the day that I confronted her and she said that she was leaving, I even told her that we could still make this work. That was pretty stupid of me, but I was desperate. She just started getting annoyed with me and said that the only reason she had even married me in the first place was because she got pregnant and didn't want to be on her own. She had tried to love me for the past 16 years, but it hadn't worked out, and now she had found someone that she actually loved. She wasn't going to let me hold her back and said that now that I had found out about the affair and her secret was out, I had to let it go. I was really heartbroken, more so for the sake of our daughter, but Kathy didn't even think twice before leaving. She filed for a divorce, and the petition was relatively simple. She just wanted to leave and didn't even demand any sort of settlement or alimony from me, and the division of assets was pretty fair. So, within a couple of months, we were able to finalize the divorce. I came to my senses after a while and realized that after what had happened, I would never be able to make it work with her. After we had filed for the divorce, I confronted Leon as well, and he just apologized and told me that he had wanted to tell me about it a long time back but did not know how to come clean to me. Within a couple of weeks, he had resigned and told me that he and Kathy would be moving away because they didn't want to create any more trouble for me than they already had. Also, Kathy had been offered a pretty amazing job in Boston, and his cousin also lived in Boston, so he could just work with his cousin instead, and it had already been sorted out. He put this all in an email, and after that, we never spoke to each other again. The last time that I saw Kathy was 2 months ago, the day that our divorce was finalized. Since then, I hadn't heard from either of them, and things were tough for me and my daughter, but we were getting through it somehow. At least I still had my business to run, and that was keeping me busy because, no matter what, I wanted to be able to give my daughter the kind of future that she wanted. But around 1 week ago, Kathy showed up again, and I'm still kind of confused about whether my daughter and I did the right thing or not. 1 week ago, around 11 in the evening, somebody frantically started ringing our doorbell and knocking relentlessly. My daughter was already in bed by then, and I was just finishing up some work in my office when that happened. So both of us rushed to the door to check, and through the window, we saw that it was Kathy. My daughter asked me not to open the door because, so far, she has been very upset with her mother. Kathy has made no effort to keep in touch with our daughter despite having partial custody, and the fact that she cheated on me doesn't sit right with my daughter either. So I would say that they have a pretty bad relationship at the moment. But I knew that if Kathy had shown up at my door at such a time, it must be about something important, so I opened the door to let her in. Instead of coming in, though, she just started yelling at me from the doorstep and said that she was going to file a lawsuit against me and make sure that this went to court so she could get whatever she was owed. She couldn't believe that I had chosen to punish her so cruelly. For the first couple of seconds, I had no idea what she was talking about and had to ask her to slow down and elaborate because I was so confused. She was still pretty pissed and said that there was no need for me to pretend not to know because she was pretty sure that I had hidden the real nature of Leon from her because I wanted to punish her for cheating. She then pulled up the sleeve of her shirt and showed me a spot on her arm with a band-aid on it. I was able to figure out that Leon must have done something, and it came as a shock to me as well because we had worked together for several years, and he had never even lost his cool in front of me. Kathy told me that for the past couple of weeks, ever since they had moved to Boston, they had been fighting a lot, and nothing had stayed the same after their move. She had figured out that it was just because Leon was still trying to adjust to this new life, but even after spending 1 full month there, he was acting like this was all Kathy's fault. Apparently, he kept accusing her of ruining his life because he had to leave the business that he had worked so hard on, and now he had to work with his cousin, who constantly kept undermining him. He blamed Kathy for all of this because she was the one who had revealed the affair to me before he was ready, and he had to move all the way here for her job, so he couldn't fight for the business either. They had been fighting every night, and the night before she came to our doorstep, he got really mad and threw a vase at her. She tried to dodge it, but it still hit her arm, and she got cut. So far, he had only been verbally abusing her, but this time, things had gone too far, and she left the house that night and took the next flight here so she could speak to me about this. She told me that Leon hadn't even bothered to contact her or apologize after she left, and she said that she was holding me responsible for this because she believed that I had known all about his abusive behavior but had hidden it from her because I wanted to punish her. She thought it was really cruel of me to do so because, apparently, she had done me a favor by not fighting for anything during the divorce, and I couldn't even have her back and make sure that she was safe. It was just really stupid because, like I said, I had worked with Leon for a really long time, and I knew him well, but that was all in a professional capacity. In the workplace, he was a very different guy. I had never dated him and had only occasionally met the women he had dated in the past, so there was really no way that I could have known about this side of him. Her accusations that I had hidden all this on purpose didn't make any sense to me, and I felt pretty annoyed by how she was acting like I owed this to her or something. I tried to explain to her that I had no idea about any of this and said that I was really sorry that this was happening to her, but ultimately, it was her own fault. She could threaten me with lawsuits all she wanted, but she knew that this was not my fault. She just kept arguing with me, insisting that I knew about all of this.